Welcome to a live episode of CCW Insider, where we talk
about
live and stories from wrestling's last territory. I am your host, Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com. I'm talking with CCW's Executive Director, Nelio Cuomo Costa, for this very special live episode of CCW Insider. You're checking your hair.
Checking my hairline, man. I feel like this last territory is making me lose my hair. I just wanted a straight hairline. But Ryan, you have crushed it with CCW Insider. You've done amazing things. Your episode with Kylin, with Gangrel, with Jesse Alaban took us so long to go right around the world. We went all around the world back to me. But I appreciate all your hard work, man. And also to Tom Holmes. Tom Holmes, man, he's like the Thomas Holmes is the man, he's the unsung warrior of the last territory, man. Nobody knows who he is, but he's freaking great. CC Dub.
There is if you're in one of the Facebook groups commenting, it doesn't actually tell us who you are.
It says a user. Hi, boss.
User. So somebody is out there chiming in.
I think the high boss is Roma. I think. You guys comment, and I'll just guess who it is. That's the game. That's the game that we'll play.
It's a live episode, so you never, I can't edit out.
It's live. We don't know what's going to happen.
The
F word, the C word, we're just going to go live on it,
Well, okay, so this past weekend, 3 shows.
Yes.
Conquer Kissimmee, American Made in Ocala,
yes.
and Saturday Night Slam in Homestead.
Yes.
How'd it go?
Amazing. Split crews, 3 shows. It showed that we have the people. It's the guitarist. We have the CC Dub. No, TNT Pro Wrestling's here. Sorry, man. That's going to distract me. But keep the comments coming. What I was saying was we had a split crew. We have 6 rings here at CCW. So it's not an amount of rings. It's not an amount like, guardrails or it's really the people, the human beings that are able to put this thing together, and I'm so happy for it. Do I want to have these 3 show, extravaganzas too many times? No, but it's a good stress test to see where we're going and to see, the growth that the company has been able to do. So, to get serious, it's a great stress test. As a business, you want to every day that you wake up, you want to improve and get better, and you need to challenge yourself. So this was it's a very challenging task, but to guys like Cha Cha Charlie, Ariel Levy, Jackal, Justin Nicolosi, all the guys that put all their time in there to make it happen. Those are the guys. Paul, Ozzy Killmeister, and then Judy, who's another unsung hero. But it was successful. I think the highlight of the weekend will be the Conquer Kissimmee. Conquer Kissimmee was a joke that I started. I don't know why we still use that, but we're going to use it forever now. But it's Old Town Throwdown is what I like to call the show. That's the spiritual name of the show. It's the Old Town Throwdown.
Love it.
And that's every second Friday of the month. And that was the highlight of the weekend for me because Bruce Owens, who had a great episode, it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago here. He coined the term lightning in a bottle for Bash at the Brew. And I felt a lot of lightning at Sun on the Beach this Friday in Kissimmee.
Yeah. And so you indicated that you're going back. So Conquer Kissimmee number 2, August 12th. So part of me was like, I'm just going to ask you, are you going back to Kissimmee? Did it work?
Yes.
On the books already.
Yes, on the books. Tickets on sale. Tickets sold. A lot of tickets sold already for Friday night because Orlando is a wrestling town. It's a lot of wrestling there. WWE's there. We had some awesome guests from WWE and some guys from All Elite Wrestling, not on the show, but watching the show, some backstage, some in the audience. And a lot of them expressed a lot of interest to come back and be a part of it. A couple legendary. I think we already have a legendary manager, but Bill Alfonso is doing color commentary, and obviously, whenever the big Brazilian decides to get back, he'll be with him. But he's doing color commentary now. We already have our a legendary manager, but a very legendary manager messaged me with interest to come into Kissimmee because he lives there. So it's a great town. I love Orlando. I love the theme parks. I love all that type of stuff. So it was just another step in the last territory, but it's a very important step for us to have a beachhead at Sun of the Beach there into Central Florida. And with running back-to-backs with an Ocala and with some other places up in that area, there's some deals that we're currently working on to keep a ring crew and a show set up in Central Florida, because Vladimir Putin has made gas incredibly expensive. So I might as well just keep a ring into Central Florida, and we'll see where that gets us.
Absolutely. So big weekend coming off that, but it's been kind of a roller coaster, and you and I haven't had a chance to talk, but a new CCW world champion not too long ago.
Yeah, it was
Bash.
Yes. Yeah. Look, we saw the video. It's very disputed. But he's not a disputed champion. Ariel Levy is the undisputed CCW heavyweight champion. There's two ways to look at Ariel Levy. He's a movie star, a huge star in South America. He's brought a lot of attention to the company. A longtime tag team champion. All those things are incredibly positive. But dealing with the Ariel Levy, the Ariel Levy that turned his back on his partner, and the Ariel Levy that is just a menace backstage, losing his temper constantly. That's been very bittersweet. He is a criminal. Yes, Ariel Levy is criminal for what he did. But the truth of the matter, he is a yeah. Oh, and wow, and Lex thinks that Ariel's the champ we deserve. Look, as part of their, as an executive director and in the executive committee, you have to see the positives of everybody. But Ariel Levy is very difficult to work with. But the match was amazing. You'll see that match on Alive Wrestling in a few weeks, and then there's already been a rematch. If Ariel Levy can survive his title opportunity in Nashville against Jaden Newman, if he defeats Jaden Newman on July 31st, Cha-Cha Charlie will wrestle Ariel in a Hialeah street fight August 6th. So expect that to be insane. The rematch is on the books August 6th in Hialeah, Florida. And it's a street fight. So, let's see if let's see if Ariel Levy can survive now that the playing field will be Levy, if
So
use a
with it kind of coincided with the crowning of Ariel Levy as champion, but you got a new belt, and I know that there are belt people that watch this show. People that pay a lot of attention to championship belts. Talk about the timing of the new championship belt, and what goes into a belt.
Oh no! Want to hear the timing of the championship belt? I didn't see the belt.
Oh no!
I didn't see the physical belt until I had somebody drive to my house while I was already at the brewery. I said, I think it arrived on my doorstep. They looked like they were an Amazon stealing package guy. They grabbed it. They put it in a podium. The photographer was there. When we unwrapped the belt, is the first time I saw the belt, and I love the belt. It's a little bit of Big Gold inspired. It's a little bit of All Elite Wrestling inspired, and it's a little bit of UFC championship inspired. And it's those are three of my favorite belts. So you see the inspiration there, but it's all CCW, baby.
Yeah, and it's a big belt. So
it's a big belt.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Cha-Cha's a big guy, so I got it for him. And Levy too. Levy's he's surprisingly big, deceptively big.
So live episode of this show. I have landscapers outside my house. There's nothing I can do about that.
Do it live. I hear Kylan in the ring right now, so hopefully you can't hear her on this. There's Kylan. There's a few people training here at the facility today.
So we are about 15 episodes into.
George loves the belt. George on YouTube.
We're 15 episodes into CCW Alive, just about. I got a couple others in the can, but I want to go through some of the people that we've had on this show.
Right, so CCW Insider.
Yes.
We're episode 95 on a
live. Thank you.
Ryan, we're episode 95 on a live.
I got a lot. I got the ticker down here says watch a live wrestling.
We're doing it live.
Yes.
We're doing it live. Okay.
So 15 episodes into CCW Insider.
Awesome.
I want to go through some of these people that we've had on, and I want to make a point and have you address the point. So we've had all-time greats like Gangrel, Chase Stevens, Bruce Owens, who's worked in the state of Florida for 50 years alongside all of the people that are on your greatest of all time list. Kylan King, who is the CCW champion and, for my money, the most valuable unsigned wrestler in the country.
Yeah.
Jesse Alaban, who just came out of the NXT system. Top prospects, Meadow, Chris Farrow, TSF, TC Reed, Anna Diaz. franchise players like Cha Cha Charlie and Big English, multi-sport professionals like Johnny Nova and Blake Chadwick. And I say all this to say this team of people that are working at CCW can't just be scrapped together. So what is the talent acquisition process at CCW? How do you filter through all of the people that want to be involved in CCW and come up with this type of list? Because this is an incredible roster. And this is just the people that made it on the Insider.
Yeah, the Insider so far. You can go on and on. There's a lot of guys who yet to make it. I'm blushing because it's great that it's funny because when it comes to talent acquisition, a lot of people say, how do I get into CCW? I'll say, message somebody else, please. The truth of the matter is we have, if you see the email, Nelio at ccwrestlingfl.com, if you see the direct messages, like what we've done with our Instagram and our Twitter and our Facebook, that's been a lot more unified as of late,
Yeah.
I am no longer, I'm going to shoot for a second. I was doing the social media myself for so long, so that's why it sounded like a salesman every single day, because it was a salesman every single day trying to get you to buy tickets. But I have a social media there, and he's improved the social media, the diversity of the social media. You, Ryan, have helped so much to increase the diversity of the news and the diversity of what we have going on the show. So the direct messages to all those things are a way to do it. But it's incredibly hard to sift through. So a lot of times when you put together this team is, I will have to see I'll see what's popping, like what's happening in the state of Florida for professional wrestling, and then what's happening in Tennessee, and then I'll have guys like a guy like QT Marshall, or a guy like Sean Dean, or these guys will message me and tell me about a talent. Obviously, David Heath works more than any independent wrestler. I mean, just today he was in South Carolina. Yesterday he was in a plane that was delayed, ended up coming back here 1:00, and then now he'll be coming in here to teach class tonight. So David Heath is out there. His ears are to the ground. So those are the ways, when you start doing great things in other companies, somebody will get it to us and get it to our ears, or my ears, or Dan Ackerman's ears at some point. So that's kind of the best way that I can explain it, how to, it's keeping the team together though.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a great team, but it's keeping that team together is so hard, because you have so many different personalities, and wrestling in a lot of ways is art. There's an artistic aspect of all of this. So what I would say would be that it's very similar to having an excellent artistic collective working together to unify their talents on this one show, and all these people have to remain happy and have to feel the respect that they deserve and be compensated with what they deserve, what they need to continue doing it. So that's the best way that I would explain it, but it's not easy. It's really the hardest part of all of this. You have to, this is a David Heath saying, this is not me. You have to be a little bit of Richard Branson and a little bit of Charlie Manson to feel like, that's not mine, by the way. I would never say that, but that would be the best way that I would explain it. You have to be, people have to buy into what we're doing. They have to love CCW. They have to care just as much about anything. And they also have to feel welcome and happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simultaneously, that's the best way. I love CCW as well. I love you, Facebook user.
Yeah, the Facebook user as a collective is really pounding.
It's funny because it's like, yeah, it's funny when when you text with people, or you see people text, you kind of get to know who people are, So.
Yeah. So, you and I have spoken a number of times, and I don't think I ever asked you the question of how you got involved with CCW to begin with. What's your origin story? Because CCW's been around a lot longer than you've been in the wrestling business.
Correct. So 2005, I walked in here and I met Bruno Sassy. I'm sorry, 2005. It's company started 2004. Sorry, 2010. I walked in here and I met Bruno Sassy and Dan Ackerman and a girl named Isis the Amazon, who was 6'9". Terrible name. Isis was a horrible name for her. But she was awesome. I think she was 7 foot. She went on to do My 7 Foot Life or something, some reality show like that. She's still around. And then Romeo Cavedo. Romeo Cavedo was one of my first friends in professional wrestling, if you could believe that. very different Romeo, Latin lover Romeo, who was like 180 pounds or something like that. And then I always knew that I wanted to be in professional wrestling, so I was here for a while, and then like many things in wrestling, I ended up leaving, fairly shortly afterward, and then there's kind of an emotional story, but about 6 years ago, I decided to come back to professional wrestling, and then training here at CCW, and spending time on the road with the guy who trained me, Pablo Marquez, and then meeting guys like Agony, like Jackal, like who are the guys here with me? Obviously, Cha Cha Charlie. So and then from there, just I don't know. I guess I don't know, Ryan. I'm just sitting here. I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Fair enough.
No, I'm in this awesome desk with a calendar full of dates, and
I know.
Next to people want to see there's a signed Shawn Michaels, signed Vader. I'm a big Vader fan. What else? There's a QT Marshall signed Joey Styles. Who I love, the Good Brothers. I don't want people to see how messy the office is.
Meanwhile, the comments continue to fly in here about people loving CCW and everything. So let's talk about
the F word. He's not going to put the comments on if you use the F word in the comments, guys. I'm just
I might.
You might. You are family.
All right.
It's the flyer. Hey, the flyer guy for Nashville. Yes, you rock.
Oh, and then
Adrian thinks that the new belt is beautiful.
There you go. Oh, you're
someone just said Lou Spector. I hate that guy. That guy, he's the biggest heel. People like Lou because he's pretty real. He's a heel.
Let's talk about some of the stuff that's coming up, because I think that's what's really critical to get our arms around. You
100%.
have a show this weekend. Oh, why is it doing that?
I don't know. I blew up that tournament. I blew it up, Ryan, this weekend. It's gonna be a match. So Breakout 14, the Prince of Wrestling, this Saturday. Here's the new card. It's gonna be announced. This is the perfect time to announce it. Oh my God! Someone, Lou, all the Lou comments. Loving the Lou comments. Keep them coming. This is disturbing.
$5. That is gross.
that is nothing affiliated with CCW. Please, we are not charging anybody to spit on anybody else. That is entirely personal. That's a personal decision. I'm a big proponent of personal liberty. So that's one of Lou's things, not one of mine. If that's even real, I don't know. Yeah. But the point that I'm making is Prince of Wrestling in Pompano Beach. Let's make the card up right now. Ricky Martinez is badass. He won last weekend. Let's do it. Ricky Martinez versus Alan S2S Martinez. Martinez versus Martinez for the CCW Cruiserweight Champion. That match is happening Saturday at 8 o'clock. That one's going to be amazing. Agony versus Eddie Valentine. I don't know if people are aware. Like, I think Eddie Valentine doesn't get enough credit for showing up in CCW, helping all the younger guys. He, I don't know if I should blow up his spot, but that is like an early pioneer of, was one of the earlier openly homosexual professional wrestlers, and he has been a pioneer. Like nowadays, there's plenty of trans, homosexual, like LGBT Q professional wrestling representation, but he was a pretty early pioneer. Imagine going to Japan and wrestling in Japan as someone who's openly homosexual in 2009 or 2008. It's very different than today. So he'll be wrestling Agony. That match is going to be badass. This is on Saturday. You have Anna Diaz. Anna Diaz has been, she has been on fire. Since her time here in CCW, she's been excellent. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in America right now. She was on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark a few weeks ago. She wrestles Roma, and Roma is like the same. Roma's badass, So you have Roma, Anna, you have Ricky, you have S2S. You have Cha-Cha Charlie. He'll be wrestling Johnny Nova Saturday. That's an awesome match. I'm sure ERA is going to be hanging around ringside to kind of spoil Cha-Cha Charlie's thing. And then you have the Prince of Wrestling. The Prince of Wrestling match now was originally a tournament, but I'll be honest with you, too many of guys that we had in the tournament had to cancel because they're wrestling on AEW Dark. So I'm okay. I'm okay getting bumped for All Elite Wrestling. I'm fine with it as long as you bump me for All Elite Wrestling. If you call me and you say, I can't make your show because I'm going to the WWE or I'm going to Impact Wrestling or I'm going to All Elite Wrestling, A-okay. So it will be Blake Banks versus Joe Garcia versus Dante Casanova versus Bull Anderson in a special Fatal 4-Way style match for the first ever Prince of Wrestling. I just destroyed the rest of his questions. Like all of the questions were going to be about the Prince of Wrestling. He's scrambling because I just decided during the weekend, screw it, we'll do it live. I literally just made those matches right now. I literally just made those matches.
Great card, though.
Ricky's sitting somewhere in Miami at a bar watching this going like, oh, I got a shot at the title. You heard it here first. You heard it before Ricky did. You definitely heard it before Alan did. I think he's going to be pissed about it. But Martinez versus Martinez, Cruiserweight Champion. Cha-Cha Charlie versus Johnny Nova. Agony versus Eddie Valentine. This is going to be an insane breakout. One of the best breakouts.
Yeah, it does. It sounds
sometimes
like it.
when a card breaks down. Do you remember when there was a plane or something? Do you remember there was a plane in Saudi Arabia that wasn't like getting off the ground or something like that? And they gave us like Finn Balor versus AJ Styles or Adam Cole
versus Bryan Danielson.
Right. They just said, you know what? Look, everything didn't work exactly how they planned. Screw it. Let's give the fans exactly what they want. So Saturday, you're going to have an awesome card. You also have this awesome debut of Jake Goldberg. Jake Goldberg is a menace. 280 pounds, built like a machine. He was cut from an NFL team. He is currently in talks with the XFL. He's been training here, and you know what? When they're ready, when people are ready, they're ready. There's a couple of guys who are training at the facility who might be a little upset, but Jake is just built completely different. So he makes his debut against Ozzy Killmeister in NVIDIA Saturday. So you get to watch a 280-pound, should be in the NFL. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have cut him. He'll be wrestling his pro wrestling debut Saturday at Breakout 14, the Prince of Wrestling. So there's other stuff too. I just can't think of it. Oh, Noah King, who won the Soul Survivor tournament last month. He'll get his pro wrestling title opportunity against Jackal Stevens. So you have Noah King, Jackal Stevens.
Oh, that's at Breakout too?
All at Breakout, yeah.
Wow.
It's stacked, Ryan.
It is stacked.
You're like sitting there like, wait, what just happened? Just completely stacked the card.
Yeah, I lost my one night tournament.
How good David looks as a kid. Like, how old are you, David? Yeah, he's a referee. He's refereed for us before, but he looks like he's 11 in that picture. That's not the real David I know. Real David I know is grizzled. Where'd that David Sanderson go?
Maybe it's his kid. I don't know. So then that's all that's this weekend. You also got Summer Glory coming up.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
SummerSlam weekend. This is, they just that other show happens to be on your turf there. What the heck?
Ryan, I'm about to blow this up too. So there's a change in bell time because I want to watch Ric Flair's last match in person myself.
Fair enough. Yep.
So we booked our show first.
Yeah.
Summer Glory in Nashville first, and then Ric Flair, I don't know why, but he decided to just come out of retirement. Okay, David, now we're just getting ridiculous. I don't need your life story. I look just like that in 2018 too. Pre-pandemic, aged me greatly. So it just aged all of us, this whole thing, right?
Yes.
A different life, this post-pandemic life. We booked the show first. We have the QT Marshall seminar that starts at 10 a.m. That's going to run till about 2 o'clock. Okay. And then we're going to have a really, really quick turnaround. We have a lot of tickets. A lot of people bought tickets for the 6 o'clock show. That emailed them out. So the July 31st is 3 o'clock. So you can see us. We'll be done. We're less than 10 minutes away from the fairgrounds. So you can get to Flair's show with plenty of time. You have an hour. You'll have more than an hour time to get in there and watch the show, and that'll be the 31st. I have that card too.
It's a hell of a double shot.
It's a hell of a card. Yeah. Well, you're going to see SummerSlam. Or no, it's a triple shot because you'll see SummerSlam the night before. I don't even know what's happening at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at a last man standing match.
Yes.
And then you can watch. It's going to be The Factory. Solo, QT Marshall, and Brick versus CCW, which is David Heath Gangrel, Jackal Stevens, and Meadow. So that is a huge six-man match.
Big match.
The Factory versus CCW. I think that's going to be badass. And then, of course, Beastman and Chase Stevens. No disqualification. We have another street fight on the card. Maybe it's one too many, but TSF. This one is well deserved. You have the Crown and TSF. The TSF screwed the Crown last time, and the Crown are mad. So you have that street fight. You have Ariel Levy, the CCW heavyweight champion, against Jaden Newman, who is amazing. He's out of Chattanooga. He's a guy that we've wanted for a long time. I know he's a wrestling trainer. He's incredibly skilled, but he's also incredibly, TSF for life. Brandon Douglas. Brandon Douglas is he is the one who he made the CCW heavyweight championship belt. He is an awesome belt maker. He is a huge supporter. We're also going to be working on you can buy CCW replica titles for sale as well through Brandon within the next month or so once we get everything up and going on that. But to go back to that card, we just have an awesome card. You have Kenzie Page, who is in the NWA, and she's an awesome up and coming female competitor, and she wrestles Kylan King for the CCW heavyweight women's heavyweight championship. So that's a huge match. I don't want to forget any matches, but there's a bunch of awesome ones. Oh, you have Michael Todd. So this is at Redcon 1. Michael Todd. He is potentially making his professional wrestling debut. Damian Wayne put out a challenge that if Michael Todd can defeat him in an arm wrestling match, Michael Todd gets 10 minutes in the ring with him. So this would be now Michael Todd has not lost an arm wrestling match in a long time. I don't know what Damian Wayne has up his sleeve to think that he can defeat the arm wrestling world champion right now, but that's happening all in Nashville. Oh my goodness! And Brian Cage, the Machine, at Redcon 1, 3:00, he will be wrestling Jack Cartwheel, which is going to be awesome because
that's an awesome match.
It's an amazing match.
Have you announced that yet? Have you announced any of these yet? Is this an exclusive?
We're doing it live. Are you at home? Write this down. Jack Cartwheel, Brian Cage, The Factory, which is Brick, Solo, and Marshall versus Gangrel, Meadow, and Jackal. Ariel Levy versus Jaden Newman. If it's not announced, I'm going to yell at my social media guy. It'll be announced today. Cards better be up by today. You're listening, Eric? The cards need to be up now.
Well, it's out there.
You have Marina Tucker will be there. Ashley Dembois will be there. Mila Moore will be there, I guess. There's Roma. Who else? Expect some cool stuff. Hunter Drake.
Well,
Cha-Cha Charlie will be in the building, so expect mayhem.
So you got Pompano Beach this weekend, Nashville over SummerSlam weekend, the last weekend in July, and then we hit into August and new month, new bash.
New bash.
If all those champions if all those champions can hold on to their titles, there's a lot of title matches coming up at Bash at the Brew. This time we already talked about Cha-Cha versus Ariel in his rematch.
That's a Hialeah street fight.
Yes.
Put Hialeah in there. It's not just a street fight. It's a Hialeah street fight. If you're from South Florida, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. So, George.
So then not only that, but this one. Now I've had both of these women, Kylan King and Jessie Alaban, on this show. They're both super confident. They both have great stories, and now they're going to be meeting each other. in August at Bash at the Brew. So Jess didn't come into the company to do anything but go after Kai Lynn. She made that perfectly clear from the start.
It's funny because with total respect to Cha Cha Charlie, Kai Lynn is the CCW franchise right now. She is so good. She is so good. But Jesse is really, really good too. Jesse formerly with NXT. One of the things about Jesse, and I guess you can hate her all you want, but she's incredibly smart. She has an incredibly smart mind for professional wrestling. She's gotten into Kylan's head. Both of these women are freaking excellent, and they're both with huge win streaks, and they're both they both could carry that CCW women's belt, to the status that it deserves. So I'm excited to see it. Cha Cha Charlie and Ariel Levy is the main event with that street fight, the Hialeah street fight. But this is 1A. This could be a main event at any point in time in any company right now. I'll announce another one. Alex Chamberlain, the Chamberlain Challenge. He'll be wrestling Jackal Stevens for the CCW Southeastern Championship. So that's at least 4. I'm sure you're going to say the other one now, right?
Yeah, this one right here.
The CCW Tag Team Championship. We love tag team championship wrestling here in CCW, and this is going to be a huge one. We had Lakai and Meadow, both monsters against Elevated Status, ERA, and Johnny Nova. And the thing about this match is, if you were at the last Bash of the Brew, you saw that Meadow and Lakai, they were so upset, they were so angry, tempers overflowed. And of course, Andy Seeley, who has for some reason become the most hated ref in CCW in the office, and by the fans for some reason, he called for the bell. So we are going to do a Texas Tornado tag match. That's no tags. That's a fight. You have to win by pinfall or submission. And that is only within the ropes, but it could be anybody at any time. Anybody can pin anybody, no tags. So you have a Texas Tornado, you have a Hialeah Street Fight, you have Jesse Alabama, you have Kylan King, you have two of the top, our best technical wrestlers, Alex Chamberlain and Jackal Stevens for the Southeastern title. We have a show coming up August. We had one of our most attended bashes in July, and of course.
Yes, Roma versus
Roma looks great. Roma looks great in that, and she looks great. Like in her return, she has been crushing it. And then Mila Moore, she was just doing amazing stuff in Kissimmee this weekend. So that's a huge match as well. Man. We're so happy Roma's back. I have to say that over and over again. So happy Roma's back.
Yes, absolutely. So Bash at the Brew this particular month is just full of all these matches, presuming that these champions can get through their,
correct. So if Jaden Newman defeats Ariel Levy, it would be a triple threat: Jaden Newman, Ariel Levy, and Cha Cha Charlie in a Hialeah Street Fight. And then Jackal, if no one King defeats Jackal, that would just be Chamberlain King. There would not be a triple threat on that.
So stacked Bash at the Brew. So. Anything else? What else is going on? Anything else? I mean,
No, nothing else. No, everything is going on.
So
we are in the middle of an incredible growth, but we're also doing so much. It's hard to keep track of all the crazy stuff that we're doing. When is Venetia's returning? There was a couple of medical updates in regards to Venetia's. Spoke to Fonzie as well. It's touch and go. At least 3 months is what the doctors put out as a timeline for him. So there's nothing at least until maybe November, maybe December. But I know that he was just dejected and was very. You'll see coming up on a live, if you weren't at Bash, that when Ariel when Venetia's woke up and forgave Ariel, Fonzie. But after the attack again on Fonzie, after everything, I would expect a very upset, a very angry Vinicius returning. But I would not expect it to happen at Bash of the Brew at that Hialeah street fight because his timetable of return is still too far away.
Maybe Santa Claus can bring us Vinicius.
Yeah, by maybe December, or just write it off till 2023. I'm sorry, I couldn't see who it was, but I'll let him know that people are wishing.
It was Facebook user. You can let.
Yes, Facebook user.
Yeah.
Yes, making a lot of comments. Yes, Facebook user. Thank you so much. Soon.
All right. Well, that said, on CCW Insider here, we have a bunch of stuff. And like I mentioned, we have an interview with Meadow coming up, with Blake Chadwick coming up. The Bruce Owens interview. There's part 2 to that one. So
dude, Bruce could have. We could just do a Friday show with Bruce. Give Bruce 2 beers, 4 beers, on a Friday, and just let him go live for 4 hours, and he will tell you the craziest things in professional wrestling. The guy's been at it for 30-something years. Was a ring announcer, as a referee, has been a part of every company, their growth, their fall, their failures, their successes. He could tell you everything. So that was, Bruce. That's a guy who could, we should just put a microphone. You should just sit with him for like 30 hours and we could just play that stuff in 10-minute increments for the rest of our lives.
Yes, we could. Yeah, it was when we finished up that interview. We could have gone much, much longer, but it was, so we cut what we had up into multiple episodes. So
right.
More to come.
Right.
All right. Well, that said,
buy your tickets for Saturday, Breakout 14. If you don't buy those tickets, you are going to be sorely. You're going to be
find out who the new Prince of Pro Wrestling is, because Cody.
Yes. Is it going to be Blake Banks? Is it going to be Bull Anderson, Dante Casanova? I mean, it's. I'm happy for some of the guys that were in the tournament that get to work, on AEW Dark and some other places and stuff like that. But you come and you watch this. Everybody should come and watch what's going to be a really awesome show that I promise will be incredibly memorable. It's going to be our Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson show. That's what I'm going to start calling it. Or Daniel Bryan, whatever he's called. You know who I'm talking about.
And that Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson show, that SmackDown you're talking about, led to like the hottest 3 months in WWE in a long, long time.
So exactly. So you know what? When things break down, maybe that's when you just rally the troops. This show was going to be. We've had that happen. I've had main events fall apart. I've had guys not get on their airplanes, or guys like
Rich Swann.
Yeah, exactly. And then the show turns out to be like amazing. Then you see amazing things. Sometimes a blizzard or travel plans or travel problems or whatever can lead to some of the best things in the world.
Yep, absolutely.
Why do we cut them off? We can go another 5 more minutes. Are you okay?
I'm good as long as you are. I know you got a hard stop coming up. So
I do. Wait, what did I have? Yeah, I do have a hard stop. No, it's okay. We have a few minutes.
Okay, good.
1 second here. I do have to get back to my
it's been so long since I talked to you. So much stuff has happened. I mean, you have.
Lay it on me. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Good. Let's talk about some of the stuff, like the cage match at Bash of the Brew. You and I haven't talked about that. I talked to a lot of people about that, but God, what a match!
The cake match?
Yeah, Kylan versus Marina.
Oh, the cage match.
I mean, this is how long.
I thought you were talking like a birthday cake match. I was like,
no, cake.
I was like, the only time we had a birthday cake was Ariel Levy when it was Masha Mayhem. Okay, the cage match. Honestly, you get expectations for a match, and my expectations, I think, were very high. I've never had a match exceed my expectations like they did for that match. It was truly freaking unbelievable. Marina Tucker and Kylan King are both really, really good at what they do, and it was about the feud, and it really, that match showcases why CCW is different. You could say whatever you want, like in regards to like wrestling fans. Sometimes they can be territorial, for the last territory. So I'm a WWE guy, or I'm an AEW guy, or I like this indie, and I only like this indie. But you know what? We were able to tell such a great story a long-term 5-6 month story that culminated into something. And I find that is so incredibly important. And it's important to professional wrestling. And it's what sets us apart. It's why I see the same faces that'll drive 2 hours to a show in Orlando or a show in Port St. Lucie. Like I go to the brewery and I go, that guy is from Port St. Lucie, or that guy is from Miami, and it is one. And thank you, Tony. Tony Miller has a YouTube interview show as well, where you see him there with Thunder Rosa. He's 100% right. It's one of the best matches in professional wrestling. Period. Like I sometimes I don't want to call a women's match, or I don't want to call the CCW belt women's. It's just a belt. And it's one of our top belts, and she's amazing to wrestle for it. But the point I'm making is, when you watch that match, they implemented so many different parts of the story that they told for 6 months. So that's what we can do differently here. That's why we do a live wrestling. Like, did I expect the live wrestling to be on television? No, I didn't expect it. I really didn't. I didn't format it to be on television until recently, until about 20 weeks ago or whatever it was. Like, I didn't format it to be on television. I formatted it so that our fans could have something that they can latch onto. And that's what sets us apart, is the ability to tell a long-term story. And Kylan King and Marina Tucker, they understand that. They understand that. And when you see that story being told in that cage match, it's just a great feeling of culmination. It's like when you watch The Rock Austin at WrestleMania 17, that's a culmination of years of them. That's that match itself. Like, okay, it is what it is. But that's not what we do. We tell long-term stories, and we can tell long-term stories. And I give all the credit in that particular story to Kylan and to Marina Tucker. Both of them are freaking great. And Marina, I mean, both of them they're just excellent.
Yeah, and you mentioned Marina's going to be on the Nashville show. I think you said
she'll be on the Nashville show. Yeah, it's like it's bittersweet that she's with Women of Wrestling, because she's so busy. She's in California now with them, but it's bittersweet. Can't hear you. Turn your damn mic on, pal. Can't hear you now. Can you hear me?
How about now?
You work now. I thought I was going to have to carry the show, Ryan. I was going to ask myself questions.
So I wanted to make a point, that the Marina Tucker and Kylan King story that was told on CCW, I'm not saying it's a direct line, but the body of work that those two women have put together in CCW and everywhere else opened up opportunities. You just mentioned Marina, and wow, Kylan King was the most credible threat to Camille on the NWA that we've seen since Camille won the title. I think, like everybody that had been watching Kylan King wrestle on CCW and everywhere else that she's been wrestling was watching that match thinking this could be when Camille gets knocked off here. So, and now we just want to return. Now we just want a rematch there. So
yes, there'll be. Well, you'll also have Camille and Kylan. I edited it. Kylan and
right.
Camille in CCW. That
you got it first. I remember.
I had it first. I promised the NWA I wouldn't show it until after the match. And it's funny too. I'm not going to say who, but there's a few people within the NWA who are like, show it the same night. So just play it at the same time. And I was like, no. And of course, Kylan would have killed me, and Kaylee or Camille would have killed me. But there were some people, some within the NWA, who were imploring me to play it at the same time. But no.
That's awesome. But yeah, so killer match, killer program, and both those two women are just doing great things now. So, what else is on your mind, man?
No, just like. I just feel like, and you've been a huge part of this, is I feel like we're getting to the next part of what we're doing as a company. And I wanted to just really thank and really give all of the credit to the people around me, like from obviously, Gangrel and Dan Evans, my business partner, who founded CCW in 2004. And who really doesn't get the same type of attention that I get, or he's not the attention guy. He does the commentary. He doesn't want even people to know. The commentary guy is one of the one of the, there's two partners in this company, myself and him, and he deserves way more. He doesn't want it, but he deserves a lot of the credit, and he deserves a lot of the fanfare for what we do. But obviously, Gangrel, David Heath, and obviously guys like women and men like you, like Thomas Holmes, like Judy Rose, who wrestles as NVIDIA. She's in here and she helps catalog where things are. If someone says, "Where's this light piece?" or "Where's this sound piece?" or "Where's this ring piece?" the first thing I yell is, "Judy, where's this thing?" So, Judy has been and it is great. And then guys like Paul Ozzy Killmeister, who works so hard to help promote Lou Spector, who's the most hated man in professional wrestling, who, is able to get flyers out and able to, talk with new venues and drive like if I need somebody picked up at the airport at 11 a.m. and I'm there with my daughter, Lou Spector's the guy to do it. So all of these guys, yes, I know. that might be Brian Cage, actually. I think that if you picked him up at the airport and then Lou spit in his mouth, I think that's the story of the night. No, that's not true. Don't put that. That's going to be like on the dirt sheet that Brian Cage and Lou Spector. But no, and obviously Kylin, and then TC Reed, the Florida man, who was who was always incredibly important to us in terms of not just like he was in ring pusher, he is in ring push, but also like he was always the guys to one of the guys to always make sure that the ring is correct and is in right order and has been loaded right. Because the worst thing is when you get to the brewery and the canvas is not there.
Oh,
or
right.
you get to the brewery and we forgot the pads. These are all real things that occurred, Ryan. So it's like having like someone able to jump and do those things is really what wrestling is about. We were talking about that on the road. This was what wrestling is about. The guy who drove the ring, the guys who drive the ring truck, like Nick Turner drives the ring truck a lot. We had Chad, who normally drives helps with stuff backstage. These guys are all incredibly important. Like Cha-Cha Charlie, Agony, Justin, Jackal. They get the credit because they get to hear the crowds. Venetius and Fonzie and Marinas and Romas and stuff. They get to hear the crowd and they get to feel that. But there's so many guys who are backstage who don't get that. But I want to make sure that people understand that CCW is not just me and Dan, or not just me, Dan, and Gangrel. The CCW are those guys. And then if you want to be a part of what we do, you really just have to get in there and join the team and be one of the people helping to grow. And that's why I hope we feel different.
There you go. Somebody asked. There you go.
All right, it's all you have to do is you have to bleed a little bit in a cup and send it to the. I'm just kidding. Bleed in this cup, kid. No. No, just if someone wants to be a part of the company, message somebody else, not me. No, I'm kidding. You can message myself. You can message Ariel Levy, or you can message maybe Dan and set up a time. Or if you want to just come, we train at the CCW training facility from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. I take office hours here. If I'm not in my granite companies, I'm here in the office. So you can come and say what you want to do and try to learn to, be part of what we're doing here, Absolutely. And of course, our official CCW rock band, Angel Riot, who helped us so much, Al and Shane and help with sound, and Wes Wittenmeyer, who's a local promoter. If you want to run a CCW show and you're, let's say, I don't know if you're in Jacksonville or you're in South Georgia or if you're in New Orleans, Louisiana, contact. I'm always open to working with local promoters to help grow an area or see if we can do some stuff together. If the expansion is part of what we're thinking, don't, like, I've had a guy from Salt Lake City, Utah offer me venues and stuff like that. And that's insane, but if you want to be part of the company, man, we're still pretty receptive. So
Good stuff.
And if you want to learn to become a professional wrestler, there's no better place than the CCW training facility, which you can give us a call and start your, wrestling career, valet career, referee career.
Now, hang on a second. Don't take that from Nelio.
Hey, what's up? It is 12 Gauge Paige Van Zant. And as you know, I just transitioned into pro wrestling. And I wouldn't go anywhere else in South Florida other than CCW, where I get to train with David Gangrel.
I had that at the ready. I
love it. You're the greatest television company of all time.
All right, things are going to break down around here. So
yeah,
I think we are good.
I'm gonna start doing my improv skills in a few minutes. It's gonna get
there
nervous.
All right. Well, we had no show last week, but we have a full slate going forward. So, and so do you. Geez, all these shows coming up. So, with that being said, that's our show for this week. So, check us out each and every Monday at 5 p.m.
I like doing this live. I mean,
Okay.
I know a lot of times like Facebook Lives are just used to like come on and like talk smack and like smoke a cigarette or whatever, like I don't know, like stream a fight you see at a McDonald's at 1 a.m. in the morning. But this is a pretty interesting use of time as well. Thanks. See, look at that. It's on you, Ryan. You cue me up, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I mean, the comments were coming in the whole time. We had a pretty stacked.
Oh, guys, less of the F word on these comments.
I know. I really have.
You can't show it if you say the F word or the C word, or anything. Like, we have a lot of comments because they're still coming.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of CCW, and thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan and Ryan Joy. Thank you, Tom Holmes. Thank you, Judy. If I forgot you, I promise I wake up every morning and I swear I'm grateful. Like my daughter is like two and a half. Oh my God, not even 2.5 yet, and she still sleeps in the bed in the middle of my wife and I, and she'll like kick me in the back or whatever, and I wake up at 6 a.m. and I swear I'm just so grateful to wake up and be able to I love granite and marble and stuff, but I'm just incredibly grateful to be a part of the professional wrestling business because I'm passionate about it, and I hope to be a conduit for other people to have passion and success. I hope you're enjoying this too. Ryan, like, you love wrestling. You wake up, you love wrestling way more than me. You wake up and watch way more wrestling than me, so it's like I hope that like everybody who is with us feels the same way, because I appreciate it all. I always look in when we get a huge ticket sale. I'm like, is this for real? Like, are that many people like interested in coming? Like, is that much? Like, that's so crazy still to me every single time. Like, so that's no BS. I'm shooting straight with that. Like, it's really, I'm so grateful every day that I wake up for all of this. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Can't end any better way than that. So. You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time in association with Coastal Championship Wrestling.